So I've muted you now and we've started, I pressed record. So we don't need the strap quite yet, but for those that are on the replay, we are using a strap today. So a belt would be okay, or a towel. It's just basically for when we come to lie down on our back, we're just going to use the strap for a few different little hip opening things and pelvis opening, and maybe a nice stretch through the hamstrings is also useful with the strap. So I'm just going to pop that to the side so you can pop yours to the side too. And Wednesday lunchtime, so I hope everyone's feeling. I just taught a HIIT class, which was interesting because I'm in the middle of an 8-day kind of detox, and we're on day 4, so this is day 4 of no real food. And I was teaching the HIIT class. I was like, oh, this is interesting. This feels really, really interesting. All right, we're going to start seated, but not stay there for too long. But just take a few moments to settle in, and then we'll get up and moving. So find your comfortable seated position, whether that's crossed legs and in Sukhasana, or whether you want to take a half lotus, or whether you'd want to be on your shins in hero's pose, or find a comfortable seated position for you. And with eyes closed down, just take a few moments to settle into your day, or into, not your day, but into this space. I was just thinking about my day so far. So that's perfect, little drop in for all of us. I was thinking about my day that was, and that is a good reminder to let all of that go, because I really want us to bring our awareness into the 4 corners of the mat that we are on and into this space to practice yoga. So I'm just going to let whatever's happened in my day so far just kind of melt away, peel away off to the side, and anything I may have on after class, let that just kind of ebb away on the other side. So sometimes I like to think of this as if you're placing bookends on your mat, and what's really important is what's inside those bookends for the next 60 minutes or so. And on the other side of the bookend, we let that just drift away, melt away. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to bring your awareness to your breath. And I just want you to close down your eyes, close your mouth as well, and just be aware of that nice gentle breath in and out of your nostrils. So breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And notice when I bring awareness to that first breath, I notice my shoulders are feeling a little tense. Straight up a little tense. So if you're feeling any areas in this just initial breath phase that are a little tense or tight, perhaps you need to move your neck around just a little, or give those shoulders a little bit of a roll. So we start to really settle into this space and arrive on our mat. So I noticed my shoulders were a little tense and tight this morning when I woke up. And we just want to start to feel that lovely expansion on the breath in, and softness on the breath out. Soften the chest and the belly. And the more soft we can make that belly, the deeper we can send to the breath, and the more we can expand when we start to take those yogic, diaphragmatic, deeper belly breaths. So you may already start to, or have started to notice areas in your body that are a little tense, but let's take a full body scan now, scanning from head down to toe. And just seeing what's going on in your body today, how it's feeling. I mentioned my shoulders are a little tight. So it's nice for me here to just move my head a little from side to side and give the shoulders a little roll. And as you allow that awareness to progress further through the body, you can move and sway your body a little from side to side. This is part of our settling in process. Yeah? And maybe little just gentle circles, and that can help awaken the hips and pelvis and bring some awareness to what's going on through that lower part of the body as well. You might feel a little tightness through the front of the thighs. I'm just telling you what I'm feeling, and I'm just giving you suggestions that things might be feeling a little tense or tight for you. And it's lovely here that we can use the breath to invite softness to those areas and really let that be your intention. So bringing awareness to whatever area you're working on and sending the breath to that place. So inhaling, you'll find you can expand through that area, even if it's just in your mind. And on the exhale is where we get to soften, relax a little more, drop down a little more, perhaps into the floor. And so if anything has arisen during this physical inquiry for you, or if you have an injury or something going on in your body that doesn't feel quite right, then just know that nothing we ever do in our yoga practice is compulsory. It's all completely voluntary. So if there's something that does arise during class, then just come and sit back in your child's pose. As often as you need to go there, stay there as long as you need as well. So can we now bring awareness back to our breath so we can deepen and slow that breath down? So as you take that next breath in with eyes closed down, follow the breath through the back of the throat, down the lungs, allowing it now to land in that soft belly and feel that expansion from there, the front, the back, the side. And then as you exhale, or we let that breath fill all the way up to the top of the chest before we exhale. So you might feel a slight expansion of your collarbones. Maybe the rib cage expands to the edges of your skin. And then the exhale comes, and here's where we get to invite softness. Top of the lungs, bottom of the lungs. The last place the breath leaves is the belly, so that navel draws softly in towards your spine. So we send the breath all the way down to the belly first, and then expand through the bottom of the torso, the middle, all the way up to the top. And then on the breath out, we're letting that breath leave the top, the middle, and lastly the bottom. So I find sometimes if you're needing a little bit of peace or a little bit of quiet in your mind, in your day, and meditation can sometimes feel a little overwhelming. Just sitting with this breath and feeling and following the breath with your awareness is a lovely way to calm down a busy mind. When I first came to the practice of yoga, my mind was very busy, and sitting in meditation seemed almost laughable. But having a breath practice where you're able to occupy your mind somewhat just by an observation of the breath can prove very, very beneficial. Another way to do this is to count an evenness through the inhale and the exhale. So just a little helpful handy tip. If you're ever wanting some time out and the word meditation sends you into all sorts of, oh, that's too hard, my mind's too busy, then this is a really lovely, very simplest form of meditation, is to just take some breath work and observe your breath. So let's now peel the eyes open with that next inhale. Bring the hands towards the ceiling to meet in prayer, and exhale, guide the hands to the heart. And do that again. Inhale, lift the arm. Exhale to the heart. One more time. Inhale. Now let your fingers touch here, and on the exhale, let the right hand come down so the left arm reaches for the right. We're going to inhale, come back through T-arms, and exhale over to your left. And then let's go again. Inhale and exhale. And hold on this side. Can we bring the left hand gently to the back of our head today? Soften a little through that right elbow. We're just going to open up a little through the torso with a slight rotation. So as you inhale, draw that elbow up towards the ceiling, follow with your gaze. And as you exhale, draw the elbow as close as you can towards that knee or thigh. Inhale and open. Exhale to curl. One more time. Inhale to open. Exhale and curl. So use your next inhale now. Take that elbow up towards the ceiling. Release the hand off the back of the head. And exhale, reach a little more. Feel that lovely stretch down the left side of the body. And let's inhale now. Bring the hands to meet in prayer and exhale. Guide the hands all the way to the navel or solar plexus. Fingers interlaced here. As you take your next breath in, draw the hands towards the chin and the elbows lift nice and high. And then exhale, round through your spine. Chin to chest, navel to spine. Inhale, lift the arms here. And take a nice slow release on the exhale, almost like you're pressing the air away with your hands. Bring the fingers behind or hands behind. Interlace the fingers, draw the hands towards the floor, lift up and away from the buttocks. And draw the shoulders back and feel the collarbones broaden just a little here. And perhaps send the gaze to the ceiling with that breath in. And then on the breath out, release the hands back to the heart. Inhale, lift the arms, let your fingers touch. And on the exhale, the left hand comes down, right arm reaches for the left. Let's inhale, come back through T-arms, and exhale over to the right. And we go again. Inhale, and exhale, and hold on this side, softening the shoulder, bringing the right hand to the back of the head, getting ready for that little opening, that little rotation through the torso. Inhale, draw the right arm up towards the ceiling, and exhale, that elbow comes down towards the side. And let's go again. Inhale to open. Exhale to curl. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. So with your next inhalation, remove the hand of the head, take the elbow up towards the ceiling, and exhale. Reach those right fingers nice and long. And then use your next breath to bring the hands to meet in prayer, and exhale, guide the hands all the way to your navel or solar plexus. Fingers interlace here. Inhale, guide the hands towards the chin with the elbows nice and high, and exhale, round through your spine, chin to chest, navel to spine. As you take your next breath in, lift the arms towards the ceiling. And take that nice slow release as you breathe out. Bringing the hands together behind you, interlacing the fingers. Draw the hands towards the floor, lift a little up and away from the buttock. Draw the shoulders back, broaden the collarbones, send that gaze to the ceiling with the breath in. And then on the breath out, bring the hands back to the heart. So let's transition now to our hands and knees. Any way you get there is fine. You know, as you know, I like to inhale, lift the arms towards the ceiling, and exhale, bring the hands out in front, shifting the weight into the hands, then uncrossing the legs. I'm just turning side on here. We're just coming into our cat and cow breath here. So hands are under shoulders, knees are under hips. Use your in-breath to let your belly drop, your chest comes forward, gaze forward or eye gaze to the ceiling, and then exhale round through your spine. Chin to chest, navel to spine. Let's go again. Inhale and exhale. Just take maybe 2 or 3 more in your own time. Close down your eyes, really connect with your breath and connect to the movement of your body. Feeling each vertebra expand as you come into your cat shape. Take 1 more. And then from that nice neutral spine, just bring your hands a hand's length out in front and shift forward, find the nice low plank with your inhale. And on the exhale, tuck your toes and slide yourself back to an active child's pose. We're just going to gently shift the weight forward and back. Inhale, low plank. Exhale, active child's pose. Now this time as we come forward, stay here. Use the exhale this time to halfway lower to the floor. And then inhale, press the floor away and exhale back to that active child's pose. Let's do that again. We're just getting some warmth through the shoulders. Exhale, halfway lower, the wrists, forearms, triceps. Inhale, press the floor away. Exhale, back to that active child's pose. Let's come all the way to the floor with this next one. Inhale, nice low plank. Now as we exhale this time, lower nice and slowly to the floor. And we'll start off with a nice low back bend, Sphinx pose. Elbows are under shoulders. Forearms, palms of the hands on the mat. Gently lift your chest with that breath in. Now, as you breathe out, can you turn and look over your right shoulder, all the way towards the right heel or ankle? Coming back through center with an inhale. Turn and look over your left shoulder with that exhale. Let's do that again one more time each side. Inhale back through center on your Sphinx. Exhale, look over your right shoulder. Inhale through center. Exhale over your left shoulder. And then coming back through center with that breath in. On the breath out, lower all the way to the floor. Slide the hands underneath the shoulders. Top toes lift through the low plank with the breath in. As you breathe out, allow your buttocks to circle over the heels. And then inhale to come forward. Exhale back and pause and change direction. Inhale, coming forward again. Exhale back. One more time, and then I'll get you just to close down your eyes, and you can stay with this circular movement. Or with eyes closed down, just let your body move in a way that best supports you. So it could very well be the circles, or you could move forward through that low plank, back to the child's pose. You could circle your hips here. Just encourage you to move in any way that feels good, that opens up your body a little more. But try and move your hands. Change the position of the hands. So if fingers are facing the front of the mat, then turn them so they face the middle of the mat. And just gently move or shift your weight forward and back here. This is a lovely way to strengthen and condition your wrists. Let's turn the hands now to the outside of the mat. And continue letting your body move in a way that best supports you, which may be different to me. That's why I suggest the eyes are closed down. And then finally turn your hands to the back of the mat and gently shift the weight very gently forward and back, because you'll feel a deep stretch through the back of the hand. We want to be nice and gentle here. Let's now bring those hands back onto the mat. And can we bring our hands length out in front once again? Come forward with your inhale. Lower to the mat with your exhale. Hands a fraction wider than your shoulders. This time, let's take a cobra. Peel your chest off the mat as you breathe in. On the breath out, can you soften your shoulders down away from the ears? Hug the elbows in. Squeeze your glutes together. And the tops of your feet press firmly into the mat. And then take another breath in. And on the breath out, lower back to the floor. Hands under shoulders, tuck toes, lift through that nice low plank as you inhale. On the exhale, lift the knees off the mat and find your way back to our first downward facing dog. So I'd like you here, just as you inhale, to shift the weight forward to a plank, high or low. And then exhale, lift back to your down dog. Just a little bit of movement here. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, slide back. One more time. Inhale to come forward. Exhale back. And can we hold here? Now we're in our downward facing dog. Let's take a moment to pedal the feet. Lifting high onto the toes and letting one heel at a time touch down on the mat. Nice and slow. And feeling that nice opening up now through the backs of the legs, the calf muscles, the hamstrings. Let's take a little twist in the dog. Lift high onto your toes. Slide the heels to the right. Keep the legs straight, yeah? You should feel a nice opening up through the left rib cage. And then twist onto your toes and slide the heels to the left. Keep the legs straight, but let the soles of the feet land on the mat. And then come back through center. So check your feet are hip distance, your hands are shoulder width, and the two-piece fingers are facing the front of the room. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, let your chest rest back towards your thighs and your heels melt towards the floor. One more breath. And then look between your hands, and we can walk or step or jump our feet to the front of the mat with our next inhalation. And as you exhale, bend your knees, let your chest rest on your thighs, take hold of opposite elbows. Let the body just swing or sway here from side to side. Roll the shoulders a little. Let the head then hang. Perhaps it shakes, yes. No, bring the hands back onto the mat. And as you take your next breath in, take a nice slow spinal roll. Feel bone step on bone. Bring the hands towards the ceiling for that tall mountain pose. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, lift the arms. Hands meet in prayer. Exhale, a nice slow forward fold back down onto the mat. Now soften both of your knees here. Keep the right hand on the mat. Inhale, take the left arm up towards the ceiling and straighten into that left leg. And then as we exhale, lower the left arm, bend back into the left leg. Left hand stays on the mat. We inhale, straighten the right leg. Right arm lifts towards the ceiling. Exhale and lower, bending back into both of the legs. One more time. Right hand stays on the mat. Inhale, straighten the left leg as left arm lifts towards the ceiling. Exhale and lower. Soften both knees. Left hand stays on the mat. Inhale, take the right arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale now and lower. And can we inhale, slide the hands halfway up the shins. Exhale, flatten the back here. So we send the glutes towards the back of the room. We get that nice stretch through the hamstrings, through the calf muscles. Take one more breath in, and on the breath out, slide the hands back to the floor. Step your right leg to the back of the mat. Drop down through the back knee. Inhale to lift the arms. And exhale, just soften the shoulders, reach the fingers nice and tall. So I want you to feel here like the right knee is pressing forward to the front of the mat, but the left heel is drawing back. So in effect, we're drawing those two towards the midline of the mat. Take another breath in. And on the breath out, release the hands to frame the front foot. We'll tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Slide that left leg to the back of the mat to find a plank, high or low, your choice. Take a breath in. Slowly lower on the breath out. Find your cobra once again. Hands a fraction wider than shoulders. Peel the chest off the mat as you inhale. And slowly lower as you exhale. Hands under shoulders, tuck your toes, lift through your plank, high or low with an inhale. Exhale back. Find your downward facing dog. And then looking between your hands, you can walk or step or jump your feet to the front of the mat. So you can take little steps all the way towards your hands, or one or two, or jump with your inhale. Exhale, chest onto thighs, and take that nice slow spinal roll with that breath in. Bringing your hands to find that tall mountain pose. Exhale, hands to the heart. Just take a breath here before we take the other side. Soften your shoulders, feel the soles of the feet pressing firmly into the floor. And then inhale, lift the arms. Perhaps we swan dive this time. Lead with the chest. Arms come out nice and wide. Tip from the hips. Hands come to the mat. Inhale. Find your halfway lift, your flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Left leg steps to the back of the mat now. Nice big long runner's lunge. Drop through the back knee. As we inhale, lift the arms. And on the exhale, soften the shoulders. Reach those fingers nice and tall. Feel that left knee and right heel drawing towards the midline of the mat. So we open a little through that hip flexor on the left side. Take one more breath in. And then on the breath out, release the hands, framing that front foot. Tuck the toes on the back leg. Lift the back knee. Slide that right leg to the back of the mat. Find a plank, high or low. Take a breath in. Slowly lower to the floor with that breath out. This time, let's bring the hands to the sides of our body. Palms face the ceiling. Shalabhasana or locust pose. As you inhale, thighs, torso, arms lift off the mat. Toes and fingers draw to the wall behind. Crown of the head to the wall in front. Take one more breath in. And then on the breath out, slowly lower back to the mat. Hands under shoulders. Tuck your toes, lift through your plank, high or low with an inhale. Exhale back. We find that downward facing dog. Look between your hands, walk, step, or take a little jump to the front of the mat with an inhale. And exhale your chest onto your thighs. Flatten the back, arms out wide. Let's reverse the swan dive as we inhale. Hands meet in prayer. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, swan dive back down onto your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Right leg steps to the back of the mat. Now, nice big long runner's lunge. Let's keep that knee lifted. As we inhale, lift the arm. And on the exhale, sink a little deeper through that front leg. Bring awareness to the right foot. Press into the ball of the right foot. Lift the heel, slide it back just a little. Engage the hamstring. Take a nice deep breath in, and on the breath out, soften the shoulders a little more. Reach the fingers nice and tall. Maybe you send your gaze towards the ceiling. One more breath. And then let's release the hands to frame the front foot. Keep the right hand on the mat. Inhale, take your left arm up towards the ceiling. So we take this nice openness, this twist again through the torso. Pressing firmly through the right palm. Take a deep breath in. On the breath out, release the left hand. And before we leave this pose, let's just straighten through that front leg, sending the hips a little bit back towards the back of the room. Move a little here. Inhale, just gently come forward. Exhale, slide back. One more time. Inhale to come forward. Exhale back. Hold here for a breath or two in this pyramid variation. Feel the right heel reaching for the mat behind you. One more breath. And then let's start to bend back into that right leg, or left leg, I should say. Slide that left leg to the back of the mat. Find your plank, high or low. Take a breath in. Slowly lower to the floor as you breathe out. I'd like you to take your right arm out to the side, bend that left leg, roll over onto your right side. Let the foot touch down behind you. And this is a really nice way to open into your hips, pelvis, and the chest as well. So left hand can stay where it is, or it could come to your hip. If you want to open up a little more through the chest, you might bring it to the small of your back. It could stay lower, upper, middle, or upper. Final option is to perhaps take hold of the top of that foot and start to kick the foot back into your hand. And if you take that option, you'll notice that your shoulders, or your left shoulder is being drawn back a little. You control that though. And we open up a little more into the chest. This is one of my favorite poses for when we come to the floor and we're in a prone position on our bellies. Such a beautiful way to open the chest and the hips. Hip flexors as well, and the front of the quad. Let's release that foot if you did take hold of it. And let the foot touch back down, and left hand can come back onto the mat. And then we can roll that left hip down. Straighten the leg and just slide the right hand back in. Let's take a cobra here. Inhale, peel the chest off the mat. And exhale, lower back down. Hands back under shoulders. Tuck your toes, lift through your plank, high or low with an inhale. Exhale back to find that downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, walk, step, jump your feet to the front of the mat with your next breath in. On the breath out, let the chest rest on your thighs, bend your knees, flatten your back, arms out nice and wide. Reverse the swan dive with the breath in. On the breath out, release the hands to the heart space. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, swan dive back down onto your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, your flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Left leg steps to the back of the mat. Nice big long runner's lunge. Keeping the right knee lifted. Hold. Inhale, lift the arms. So just taking nice basic Anjaneyasana today. Exhale, sink down. Awareness to that left foot. A little press through the ball of the foot. Lift the heel, slide it back, engage the hamstring. Soften the shoulder. Take a nice deep breath in. On the breath out, soften even more into this Anjaneyasana and perhaps send the gaze towards the ceiling. Inhale and exhale. Release the hands now to frame the front foot. Left hand stays on the mat. We'll inhale, take the right arm up towards the ceiling. Pressing firmly through the left palm, draw the right shoulder back a little more. Let's release that right hand back onto the mat and just let yourself just straighten through that front leg, shifting the weight back a little. Coming forward, nice and gentle today. And back, and using the breath. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, slide back. One more time. Inhale forward. Exhale back and just hold here. Just feeling into that stretch through the back of that left leg. Making sure it's not feeling too tight, and we're just about to open up a little more through that hip flexor, which are with our next little back bend. So bring the weight back into that right foot, bend into that knee. And then we can slide the right leg to the back of the mat. Find your plank, high or low. Take your breath in, lower to the floor with your breath out. Left hand comes out to the side. Now we bend the right leg. Roll over onto that left side. Right foot touching down. Right hand can stay on the mat or come to your hip or to the small of your back. Or maybe you take hold of the top of that foot and kick that foot back into your hand. Opening up through the chest, feeling that nice openness through the front of the side. Release that foot now. Back down onto the mat or the floor. Bring the right hand onto the mat. Roll that hip back down. Straighten the legs. Slide the left arm in. Find your cobra. Inhale. Peel your chest off the mat. Exhale to lower. So let's bring our hands underneath our shoulders. Tuck toes, lift through that low plank on the breath in. On the breath out, just sink back to your child's pose. Now, I want you to keep your toes tucked because we're just going to move this child's pose just a little. I'm just coming front on so you can see what I'm doing. So can you walk your hands out to the front of the mat? Press into the pads of your fingers, lifting your palms off the mat. So imagining here like you've got two very well-iced cupcakes under your hands and you don't want the icing to touch the palms of your hands. That sounds better than spider fingers. Take one more breath. And then cupcakes are gone, hands are flat, but can you slide them off to the right side of the mat and let your left hand just crawl a little further out than the right. So opening up through this left side of the rib cage. Perhaps you feel those intercostal muscles starting to separate a little more. I once heard this pose described as if you're opening up the blinds of your rib cage. And I thought letting the light in, that's a really nice way to describe the stretch that you feel here, this opening up through this left side of the body. Let's walk our hands back across the front of the mat and over now to our left. So the right hand can walk a little further out than the left, perhaps here. And we're looking for that same feeling down the right side of the rib cage now. And you can edge it out a little more, walk it out a little more. And then let's bring those hands back through center. I'm turning around again, so I'm moving myself around the mat. So we're back in that child's pose. Can we inhale, come forward to a nice low plank. Toes are tucked, and as we exhale, find again your downward facing dog, and just take a little bit of time here to pedal through your feet. So I'm going to set us up for a pigeon pose before we lie down on our back. So come to stillness in downward facing dog. Inhale, take your right leg up towards the ceiling, bend the knee, yawn that hip open to the side. So like we're stacking one hip on top of the other. See if you can evenly distribute the weight between both hands. There's a tendency to want to dump all the weight into the left hand. Don't do that. Let's evenly distribute the weight. Draw the right heel into the left buttock. Maybe look underneath your right arm here. Now, when you're ready with your next breath in, draw the hips back through center. And on the exhale, slide the knee in behind the right wrist crease and slide your left leg back. Untuck the toes. So we want our knee a little wider than our hips. Take a breath in, lift a little through the pigeon chest, puff it out a little. And then on the breath out, slowly lower to your mat. Take your time, take your time. Use the breath. So you might pause on your forearms. Feel into this right hip, glute, feel into the right side. And then use another breath to maybe let yourself melt a little closer. See how it's feeling now. And remember, we have the opportunity to use the breath to open and create space and soften. So inhaling, opening, spaciousness, expansion, exhaling into softness. And you'll find that on the exhale is where you're able to drop a little closer to the mat. And notice how the right glute feels. And keep breathing into wherever there are little pockets of tension or tightness. One more breath. And then use your next inhalation to start to press the floor away and lift your chest and walk your hands now back to that knee or shin. We'll tuck the toes on the left leg, lift the left knee, and then slide the right leg back and find our way to downward facing dog where we can pedal. And what's nice about pedaling here is you get to feel the difference between the side that we've pigeoned and the one yet to pigeon. Come to stillness. Take a breath in downward facing dog. And then use your next inhale to take that left leg up towards the ceiling, bend the knee, yawn that hip open to the side. So again, we want to evenly distribute the weight between the hands. There will be a tendency to want to dump it all on the right side. Draw that hip open a little more, let that left heel draw towards the right buttock and maybe gaze underneath your left arm. Let's slowly draw the hips back through center and guide the knee in towards the chest so we can slide it down behind that left wrist crease. Slide the right leg back. Make sure the knee's a little wider than your hip here. Take a breath in, lift the chest a little, and then on the breath out, slowly lower towards the mat. Now, straight up for me, this side is going, it's a little bit tighter than the other. So this means a more gradual lowering down of the mat for me as I bring awareness to the area that is, it's not yelling at me, but it is talking rather loudly. So it needs a little bit of attention and a little bit of guidance. So that's where I would send my breath. And the intention in my mind is to soften and expand. And then I see if I can go a little bit closer to the mat. Has it opened up a little? Yes, it has. And this is why pigeon pose is a nice one to hold that little bit longer, because we can achieve so much with the breath here. And it might be, you know, each breath might allow you to drop 2 millimeters, maybe even only 1. But if you're here for 5 breaths, that's half a centimeter. And over time, you'll find that as you come to pigeon, each pigeon feels different. Depending on what exercise or what we've done before we take the pose, I don't find my body feels the same ever when I come to this pigeon pose. So we're going to slowly, with our next breath in, press the floor away and walk the hands back towards that shin. But just shift the weight into that left glute this time and draw the right leg to the front. Now we're going to grab our straps at this point, but just leave them at the top of your mat. Let's shift ourselves a little forward on the mat and keep the legs bent. Inhale, lift the arms, and as we exhale, slowly roll that back down. And we draw the knees into the chest. We can take a little bit of time here. Just take a little rock from side to side and then bring your hands onto the knees. And we take a little bit of time here to massage through the glutes and the lower backs with those nice circles through the knees. I love doing this. It's such a nice way to massage through the sacrum as well, which just sits on top of the glutes, gets a nice little massage. And then when you're ready, pause, hug the knees in towards the chest. But we're going to let the left foot touch down and keep the right knee in, and then grab our strap or belt or whatever you've managed to grab from home and place it around the ball of that right leg and then, or foot, and then straighten the right leg. So what I'd like you to do here is flex the foot, draw the toes back towards the shin. Just take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, slowly draw that leg back behind you. Now we're using this lovely prop to just give us a little assistance here. So feel into the back of that leg. We should be nice and warm. But if your hamstrings are really tight, go really super duper slow. Don't pull too hard. Feel as if you're trying to draw your toes to the floor behind your head. If it feels better for you, straighten that left leg. That's neither here nor there. It's what feels more comfortable for you. I just prefer to keep mine bent. And then slowly draw that leg back through center. Now we're going to take hold of the strap with our right hand. Bring the left arm out to the side. Take a nice deep breath in, and then slowly draw the right leg out to the right side of your body. So we're opening up a little through the hips. And just go as low as feels comfortable for you. And what you can do here is, again, work with the breath. Take an inhale, and then on the exhale, maybe you're able to slowly lower that leg a few more millimeters. And then let's use that next inhale to draw the leg back through center. Now we are going to all straighten that left leg now. And take hold of the strap with the left arm. Right arm comes out to the side. So we're just taking a supported spinal twist here. So with all of our supine or spinal twist lying down, I always like you to slide your hips a little over in the opposite direction to the way the leg is going. So can you just slide your hips over to the right just a little, and then start to allow that right leg to come over to the left. Use the strap. This can be a little nervy. You might feel some of the nerves get activated down the back of the leg. So be quite mindful here. And just go as low as you're comfortable with. Position of your head is up to you, facing the left or towards the ceiling or to the right. Just depends on how your neck is feeling. We're going to slowly now draw that leg back. I suggest you take hold of the strap with your right hand and then roll back onto your back. And bend that left leg and slide the hips back into center. We'll remove the strap off the foot and cross that ankle over the left knee. Slide the left heel in just a little more and just press gently away through that right hand into the inside of the right thigh. And because we're here, let's now draw the left knee in. Right hand threads through the leg's left hand to the outside. You could interlace the fingers behind the thigh or below the kneecap. Once again, press that elbow, right elbow into the inner right thigh. Flex both of the feet and just draw that left knee in towards the chest. This is like a figure 4 lying down pigeon. We've just done pigeon, so this might feel really nice just to open up a little bit more in a slightly different area through that right glute and hip. Take a nice deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, lower the left foot. Bring the arms out to the side. Let's just heel toe the left foot to the edge of the mat and just let your legs as they are just gently fall to the right. And then slide that right foot off the left knee and take some little windscreen wiper actions with the knees, just gently letting them roll from one side to the other, and you might turn your head in the opposite direction. Just a little kind of what I call a palate cleanser. And then come back through center and draw your knees back into the chest. Give them that nice gentle squeeze. Keep the left knee, and this time the right foot touches down. Grab your strap. Take it around the ball of your left foot now and extend that foot towards the ceiling. So once you're feeling comfortable and the toes of that left foot are drawing back towards your shin, you can work with the breath and the prop that you have to gently guide that leg back. So for me, there's a lot going on in this side today. It's a lot tighter. It was when we went to pigeon, and it's a little bit tighter in the hamstring as well. So interesting observations for me. There's obviously, this is my, I know we're on the left side, but this is actually my right side because I'm doing the opposite side to you. So often we find the side that we use the most ends up being a little tighter. So I'm being really very gentle and just softening and inviting that leg to move back a little more with each breath. And then we can just slowly draw that leg back through center. Now we take hold of the strap with our left arm, bring the right arm out to the side. And start now to let that left leg open out to the left side of the body. Try to keep the right buttock on the floor. There's a tendency for it to lift a little. A little is okay, but a lot is sort of, we're not getting that full stretch and opening up through that inner thigh. So we're going to slowly now draw that left leg back through center. Take hold of this strap now with your right hand. We need to straighten that right leg, left arm out to the side, and we're going to slide the hips a little over to the left side of the mat, and then let this left leg open out to the right. And you might need to slide your hand along your strap or belt or whatever you're using, towel. Just take any adjustments you need to. Oh, I can feel that really strongly in the top of my glute. Slowly roll back onto your back. I like to use my left hand then to draw this leg back, just to give it a little bit of assistance. And then we can bend that right leg, and you can remove the strap and cross the left ankle over the right knee, just gently pressing it away, just feeling that openness again through that left side. Draw the right heel in just a little. And then when you're ready, draw the right knee in towards the chest, left hand threads through the legs, right hand to the outside. Behind the thigh or below the knee, left elbow presses into the inside of the left inner thigh. Flex both of the feet and draw the right knee in towards your chest. So another opportunity just to open a little through that left thigh, left glute, maybe a little hip flexor, depends what's going on that side. Take a nice deep breath in. And then on the breath out, release the right foot back down and bring your arms out to make that T pattern. Heel toe your right foot to the right edge of the mat and let your knees, just as they are, gently fall to the left. And then slide that left foot off the right knee. And again, just take that little windscreen wiper action. Head can turn in the opposite direction to the knee. Just one more each side. It's a nice way to move the neck as well. And then come back through center and draw your knees into the chest. Wrap your arms around the shins. Lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Drawing the forehead and knees nice and close towards each other, curling into this little seed pod, little cosmic egg. Take a nice deep breath in. On the breath out, lower your head and shoulders first to the floor, then your feet, and then extend one foot at a time to the bottom of the mat. Feet open out to the side, bring the arms to the sides of the body, flip the palms, palms face the ceiling, close down your eyes and allow yourself to settle into your final pose, to our Shavasana. Acknowledging now that all of the work has now been done. There's nothing left for you to do. To just be on your mat in this space. And receiving, so we come to what I call receiving mode in Shavasana. We receive all the gifts and goodness, all of that openness and expansion, spaciousness and softness that we've created through our practice. This is where we get to fully receive. So let your body just soften and sink down into the mat. Perhaps you feel as if you're dropping so deep, there's a heaviness to your bones. You might feel like you're falling through the mat, through the floor, and that's okay, onto the earth below. Imagine that there are two white, soft, fluffy clouds that are entering the soles of your feet and traveling up your body, and their only job is to create softness. Then as they travel up your legs, you feel the muscles soften, maybe melt away off the bone. As they reach the torso, the belly softens, the stomach, the chest. As they reach the shoulders, you feel any tension just flow out of the shoulders and come down. The clouds come down through the arms and you soften. You feel each individual finger relax and drop a little deeper towards the mat. And as the cloud enters into your face, you notice the forehead soften, the jaw relaxes, the cheeks relax. And if you find when we come to Shavasana that your mind has that little sense of busyness about it, that's okay. Ideally here, as your thoughts arise or as the busyness starts to come, the best thing I've found to do here is invite it in. Trying to stop the thoughts is a bit of an activation of energy that we really don't want. You just want to soften. So welcoming them in tends to take that energy or power away from them. Start now to allow your breath to begin to slowly deepen and bring your awareness back to your space on the mat and your position in the room. And allow that awareness to expand from there to the four corners of the mat that you are on and the four corners of the space that you find yourself in. And allow yourself to notice the sounds of the outside world just gently dropping back into your awareness. And then let the sound of the bells gently guide you back to your physical body on your mat inside your space. Invite little flickers of movement and energy into your fingers and your toes, and maybe you rotate your wrists and your ankles. Let your head gently move from side to side, feeling that body awaken. And if it feels nice, you might extend your arms overhead so fingers reach to the wall behind, but your toes point to the wall in front, and take a nice deep breath in, letting your body become as long as it possibly can. Feel yourself re-emerge, re-enter into your day. Bend your knees, make your way over to your favorite side so you're resting your head in your upper arm and your forearm. And with eyes closed down, take some time here to bring everything that you've received from your practice fully back with you so you can integrate through the physical body, the mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, whatever resonates with you here. We want to leave nothing behind on the mat, fully bring it back in and integrate so we can embody everything we've received as we go about the rest of our day. And then as you feel ready, slowly, mindfully, begin to make your way back up to a comfortable seated position. There's no hurry here, just take your time. Relax through your shoulders. Bring your hands into prayer so thumbs reach gently in on your sternum. This is Anjali Mudra here. Separate the fingers just a little. Notice how you're feeling now at the end of our practice. And just let yourself drop into your heart space. I want you to pop in there one thing today that you are grateful for. And then imagine there's this little gratitude bomb going off in your heart, or a little heart explosion that sends that sense of gratitude and appreciation and whatever other emotions are coming up for you with this sense of gratitude. As it explodes, it sends that throughout your body. Or imagine there's fireworks going off and there's little bits that are being spread to the tops of your toes or tips of your toes and fingers to the top of your head. So you're awash with gratitude and appreciation for all that we have. Everything and everyone that we have in our life. Thank you so much for joining me for our Wednesday lunchtime Zoom class. And if you'd like to unmute yourself, you can, and we can Om and Shanti together, 1 Om and 3 Shantis. Take a nice deep breath in. Om. Take another inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.